Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers. Go off, go off.
Good morning, everybody. Herbie's trumpet has sounded. It is a glorious day here in Amsterdam, and your favourite ultimate production company is here live to cover all of it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to OTTV's coverage of Windmill 2022. 3 years ago, we were last on these fields before the COVID pandemic delayed Windmill 16, but we are finally here. We are pumped as hell, and we're starting on this pitch with some open division action. Panthers Wrocław pulling to KFK. It's Benji Reese with you in the booth, joined by Corey Sostray, who we'll hear from very shortly. So meanwhile, KFK starting on offense. Top 8 team in Europe last year. Here's Yamitslow. Option underneath. Fakes that flick down the sideline. Low, but still rescued. Not a problem there, that one. Faking the flick again, getting the handler clearing out. Zips the inside forehand on the swing to Yamitslow. Now at the front of the end zone is Graham Poulsgaard. And he finds the option. Very strong, comfortable start for KFK. It's 1-0 to the Danes. Morning, Corey.
Morning, Benji. How are you doing?
I mean, I think you can tell I'm a little bit buzzing.
Yeah, no, we're excited to be here. Again, Windmill, a beautiful tournament, one of the best in the world. It's a pleasure to be here. I get a pleasure to commentate alongside Benji Reese, the legend, the GOAT.
Stop.
So, well, I'm into personally, and it's a great way to start the day. And just like KFK, they're excited to start the day as well like that too. Just moving it up the field, looking very fluid, and ready to go, honestly.
Yeah, KFK, maybe last year you consider a bit of a breakthrough for them. Top 8 in Europe, maybe knocking on the doors of those semi-final spots. Now the unrivaled top open team in Denmark, and looking to make their mark here on the fields in Amsterdam up against the Panthers Wrocław. Originally Girls Stay Home and then the Bridge, now rebranded to be in line with the city's American football team.
Oh, you'd love to see it. Carolina Panthers.
Well, Wrocław Panthers, but yes.
Hopefully they do better than the Carolina Panthers.
We do have a North Carolina team here, but not this one.
Yes.
So Panthers, this is their first offensive point, and they want to immediately roast it downfield. This is going to require a chase, inch perfect on the end zone line. Can they find that scoring pass? Choosing to be a little bit more circumspect. Taking the reset. Forced to the front cone isn't there. Still count rising. Has to blade this round the back, but they get away with it. Sosna with the offhand. That high release lefty backhand. Oh, what a thing of beauty to Filip Dobronovsky to tie us at once.
And what a beautiful succession of plays right there. Again, what we didn't see from KFK, we saw from the Panthers, and then throwing it deep downfield, catching it, and then having the coolness to stay at that front cone, not force anything, and move it along those lines. And like you said, a beautiful left hand, or lefty backhand, high up, and they get a score 2 on the board, 1-1.
It felt like they maybe got trapped into some higher stall counts than their opponents, but the deep game is a very potent aspect of this Panthers offense. And if KFK weren't ready for that, I think they're... it's always going to be in the back of their minds now. That's
Exactly.
why it's always a nice option to have that deep game early on, because it means the opposition is constantly thinking about defending that deep space.
Exactly. And what I like, too, is that once they got the deep throw down at the front cone, they didn't force the throw in there to try to make something happen. They immediately just took it chill, running around the disc, and then scored.
So KFK after a nice deep pull by Panthers, initiating out of a side stack on this possession. Panthers trying to sit in those middle spaces. Stall count rising for KFK. Has to lash it deep on the high stall. There's going to be no one there, surely, although this might come back in. And actually, Panthers defender had to take action just to make sure that no one was sneaking in behind. Cappy knocks it to the floor.
And that's perfect Panthers defense right there to defend the side stack. That's a thing of beauty to make it punt, especially on that second O-line possession right there. That's a win for them.
Yeah, they just saw, okay, side stack. We'll sit players in that space that we know they want to attack. And when people come toward, they let the play come towards them. So rather than try and be on the tails, be a bit more proactive in getting those spaces covered. Break off the sideline to start the possession. Lukasz Dobranowski goes underneath. It was potentially the option for that over-the-top shot, but they decided against it. Can they break? Just about get it around. Again, faking the flick. Close to the sideline. Reeled in. Kosmalski. Dishes off to Dul. Mikhail Dul jacks it. What a rip that is. Right on the spot. Outside the end zone. The little blade. That'll be the game's first break, and it goes Panthers' way. They lead 2-1.
And a beautiful break that was. I mean, again, another deep shot, perfectly put. As you can see, it's right over the KFK defender's head and just allows them to work in the end zone. And again, chilly offense within the end zone, not to throw away, and an easy OI flick into the end zone.
These hucks are coming out there. They're not got a huge amount of loft on them. They're quite flat and quite zippy. Rather than let players try and sky a pack of defenders, it's very much we want to lead them into space and have them chase it down.
And it's also a hard task in itself, too, because with that, you have to perfectly put it over top, because if you don't, the defenders can knock it down and get a finger on it. I mean, personally, I thought I could get a finger on some of those, even though I know I can't. But that's just how beautiful those passes are from the Panthers to start.
When it works for the Panthers Wrocław, it is fun to watch, as we saw in their bracket run at Vienna Spring Break as well. So the Poles lead 2-1 here, drawing first blood in this game against KFK, the Copenhagen Frisbee Club.
Spring break.
I mean, it is a spring break. No, it's summer now. This is full-on summer when it's apparently going to hit north of 30 degrees Celsius today as that pool lands out of bounds and it's going to be bricked.
And also for the other people using a different system, maybe the Fahrenheit 30 is about, I'd say 90 degrees. So it's going to get hot up there. It's going to be hot today.
So now we know what it is in fake money as well. That's nice. Although apparently the UK is thinking about returning to imperial measurements. So what the heck do I know?
You know more than I do, my friend.
Working underneath, blading towards the near sideline. That was so much slicker for KFK.
It was a thing of beauty, honestly. I mean, leading that pass into space so the receiver can overlook the right shoulder where it's only him in the disc to catch that. Wow. And it looks like in the chat, too, somebody's said good morning, Binge.
Appreciated. Good morning, everyone. Isn't it good to be back at Windmill? God, I'm so excited. I say back at Windmill. This is your first time here.
This is my first time, and it's been spectacular so far. Walking to the venue yesterday from the bus and just seeing the big tent, I was, wow, astonishing, some would say.
The Iggy is, yeah, if you're not expecting it, it's a big old tent. There's a lot of activities going on in Iggy Square as well. There are some very comfy-looking hammocks that I'm interested in, I'll be honest.
I'm with you as well, too. We can see you right there.
So here's the pull for KFK. Panthers can receive and bring it in.
And it looks like a zone look here, too, from KFK.
Yeah, just trying to change things up a little bit as they want to get that early break back to the Panthers. Blade, a little bit of an adjustment, but not a problem. Found the player in plenty of space. Swinging it around. It's reasonably still. You can see the flags just a little bit of fluttering in the distance, but generally ideal ultimate conditions, although I must admit I'd like it slightly cooler.
I agree with you, and we're under a tent too. So we can imagine what these players, especially the Panthers players in black jerseys, feel.
Good idea to win the flip for kit. We've seen already that they do have those overheads, so they're just trying to fake them, keep the defence at bay. I think this might instead go round the back. It's very deliberate so far, this Panthers offense against this zone. They don't want to play it quickly. They just want to make sure that they're taking the right options. And now there's a little bit of 1-2 give-go between Du and Dobronovsky. Thinks about the flick down the sideline instead. Goes relatively central. Played over the top. No, dissed off back to Lukasz Dobronovsky. On the end zone line now. Here's Kosmowski. Back to Dobronovsky, and he finds Du. Flicking it, still not quite in the end zone. Just staying patient, taking their time, taking the resets when available. Nearly got into a high stall situation there, but got it off easily enough. Again, this is veteran experience here from the Panthers. They don't want to take any risky passes. They are more than content to metaphorically walk their way in if they need to. Everything compressed on that front cone, but it doesn't matter because Panthers can jam it in that jam hole for 3-2.
They can, and like you said, it was just very experienced play against the zone. Not much wind here, but just a little bit something different from KFK. But the Panthers took it at ease, walked it up. A few times I thought maybe somebody would get a little egregious, try to throw something out of the zone. But they played it cool, calm, and easy as you like it. A beautiful 1-2. And then, like you said, jammed in the jam hole for a score.
Yeah, what you're seeing there is often one of the benefits of using that quick throw and go is get it off, and then, especially if the mark's a little bit on their heels, you can go and attack that space. Often the most dangerous option is the player who's just given you the disc, and they used it well on that far sideline in that methodical possession. But for KFK, they might say, okay, they scored, but we made them have to complete a lot more passes, and also they nullified the deep game that was very effective early on for Panthers.
Exactly. Made them earn that point, I'd say.
So the pull goes up from the Panthers. This one looks like a much better prospect. Previous one was bricked. This one looks like it was just going to drop in the back of the end zone. So it's going to pin KFK in some dicey territory. Trying to work their way through now. In the center of the park, this is a low flick towards the sideline that's caught. Trying to shoot deep right down the sideline. Can they find the option at the back of the end zone? Towed in. Perhaps goal signals.
What excellent sportsmanship, too, from the Panthers right there. Just to call it in, it was right out the boundary, so it looked questionable, but that was great sportsmanship. And KFK getting back on the board, moving the disc along. They had some open options deep, but they chose not to take. Haven't dropped the disc or anything along those lines, but KFK have other plans in mind.
So those of you unfamiliar with how the tournament structure at Windmill works, it is Swiss draw, which means after every game there is an algorithm that works out your score, and then you play basically the closest opponent in algorithm score to you in ranking, which ensures theoretically you get constantly tight games all the way through. And also because it's Swiss draw, games can end on ties. Hooter goes at 70 minutes, you finish the point, and you're done. But also with Swiss draw, every point matters, because you've got to try and make your ranking coefficient as high as possible.
Exactly.
So there's always an incentive, even if you're way up in games, to try and blow teams out. Oh, wow, that was right in front of the camera. First player bid, second player snagged it in the hands, but called that foot was right on the line.
And just great, I guess, calls, too, by the KFK team on the boundaries to see. It looked like to me that was just about out.
It was tight, wasn't it?
And we also have to mention, too, that the clear white line is not the out of bounds line. It's a little bit more faded on this pitch.
KFK handler clears through. Gets the disc. Woog. Working downfield and finding the option in the end zone. Tobias Graham pulls guard, makes the catch and puts KFK back on serve and back in the lead at 4-3.
And that's what KFK are looking for right there, too. Just to get that break, right the ship, again, go back into the lead, and now they have 4-3, facilitating the offense. And maybe a little bit of a momentum starter, too, as the Panthers come back on O-line after that break.
Were they Were they singing the Mexican hat dance?
Were they?
The da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that one. Hey! Thanks to the crew behind us. Hello to everyone listening in chat, watching in chat as well. A lot of support for the Panthers. Someone thinks that that out call on the sideline might have been in. Interesting. And hello to Australia as well. Watchers far and wide, whether it's afternoon in Oz, really early morning in the States, or just a nice, comfortable start here in Amsterdam. 10 o'clock start.
That's cash.
I think Windmill knows what they're all about.
They do. So tomorrow we'll be bringing you at 9 a.m. For today a 10 a.m. start.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
We are looking forward to this ultimate, though, as we see the Panthers come back out on O.
Filip Dobrowski goes towards the sideline. Again, something a little bit different coming out from KFK, more zone. And it transitions pretty neatly into single coverage. Trying to squeak that down the sideline. Really lovely low release. Swung across. A little bit floaty. Not a problem for Sosna. Players, however, look like they're struggling to try and create separation. This throw is floaty, but KFK can't pick it off.
Great concentration right there to reel in that snag. Ooh, cheeky.
You can see he wanted the timing for the break side cut, but it wasn't quite there. Wrocław really grinding it out at this point. Good switch, passed off downfield by KFK. A good communication as well, as that's a drop for Panthers. Got a little bit lackadaisical maybe.
That's another turn for KFK. And it's a turn for KFK as well, too, as the Panthers have an opportunity back on O.
Well, Petrushikat might be slightly relieved, I think. Tries to get the break, and potentially a foul on the throw.
Looks like he was trying to see if he can get the and one on that movement.
Yeah, using that leftiness to get around the mark, and also that looking for that throw and go just to get a little bit of extra space. And the mark maybe must have just got a little bit handsy. Again, another nice switch passed off by KFK. An apology for the little bit of contact and collision there as well. Good spirit being played between these two sides, as that inside break is too low to be rescued. KFK will get another shot at this, looking to open up the game's first 2-point lead. Sverko. First pass goes to Commons. Is Lamitsio. Putting it deep, but this is a little bit floaty. It's going to invite some pressure. And Panthers read that really well to back it out the back of the end zone.
And even then, too, the Panthers not really having the advantage either way. Trapped between two of the KFK receivers and still getting the D. It's a pretty remarkable effort right there. Now they have to go the whole length of the pitch to see if they can convert the hold.
Just showing there the value of getting a library card.
It is. Books are important.
So here's Panthers back on offense again, looking to piece their way through this KFK zone, which has undoubtedly slowed down the opposition. Those big deep looks that they wanted early in the game have been all but nullified. I think that might be a little bit of a foul on that cut up the line, perhaps.
I think so. I think the players agree with this as well.
Yeah, Filip Dobrowski looking for that up-line space, clears out. Cheeky little lefty to get it off, and that is a pick downfield. Get those guns out in this glorious sunshine.
And now we see like some wind picking up too from the...
I'll be honest, if there is a little bit of a breeze that wants to drift through, I will not complain.
I will not as well.
It is scorching here in Amsterdam.
I feel like we're at the beach right now. I mean, what else could you want at Windmill
A
besides
beer?
some wind? A beer too, yeah?
Although it might be a bit early for that. Here we go, Filip Dobronovsky. He's got border waiting, he wants to put it deep, and he's going to get it as well.
It's some funny play between teammates right there. He chucks the disc between his teammates saying, I caught it, not you this time. But Panthers hold after a turn point and just facilitating the offense. Looking around, throwing some cheeky stuff up line.
Yeah, every other time we've seen a team generate the turn, they've been able to punch it in for the break. This time KFK had 2 opportunities, couldn't make it stick with either of them. And they're just using some of these more unorthodox throwing looks. The mark comes too far round to cover that flick, puts the backhand up into space and just sits it over the KFK defender to tie us at 4s.
And as we saw between here too, early in the point, KFK had 2 receivers trying to get the disc and got out-positioned by the Panthers D, but this time Panthers had 2 of their receivers in perfect position, so either or could have attacked, and they paid dividends there.
So KFK 4, Panthers 4, 20 minutes into this game to 15, or 70 minutes here on LTTV's coverage of Windmill 2022. And God, does it feel good to say that.
I was about to say, it's fun to fun here. We're living life.
And I assume the people watching at home are the real winners. This is a low throw, and he could never quite catch up with it. Good Spek. He just never quite got up to that. So Panthers down the far sideline. Dool. Up line, doesn't like it, breaks it off instead. Big downfield. Good communication coming from the sideline to reiterate that call. We got some nice variety in chat. People listening from Hong Kong, Singapore, China. Welcome.
Welcome indeed.
There's another question in the chat which I will answer after this point. This one is put deep by the Panthers. They're not afraid to go for the deep ball, and that time just well defended. You can't really put it much more than that. Gets a little bit of enough of a tip on it.
I think so, because I even think the Panthers receiver had a better position there anyway, kind of letting it come back down, but I think the tip by KFK proved dividends, and now they're going to see if they can work it up the field.
In answer to your question, Astro, Panthers rebranded recently to be in line with the with Wrocław's professional American football team, and as such, they've negotiated some sponsorship deals with some local partners to help in terms of funding and awareness, and which is something that I think is to be commended.
It's a really cool story, honestly.
Even if slapping lots of logos on your jersey maybe makes it less aesthetically pleasing. I understand how the sausage gets made.
Beautiful analogy.
Here's Yamitsa coming underneath. Oh, there's a player down on the floor for KFK. Yamitsa clears deep. Oh, zinged the inside flick through there, and that'll be a foul. Łukasz Dobronovsky just on the back of Spek. There's a chap for KFK who's just walked past with what looks suspiciously like a Ragnarok tattoo.
We might have to interview him after the game to see what it is.
Taking the reset, playing it in the backfield at the moment. Trying to get it all the way towards this break side. Handler mark sags off to clog that space. Now Du gets back into position. Everything's coming between the handlers at the moment, letting them create space for themselves. Now they're trying to activate downfield. Yamitsa makes the cut to the front cone, doesn't get it. Instead it swung back into the center, across towards the far side. Brilliant distraction there, trying to get the force to shade over to open up the break, and eventually KFK make it count for 5-4.
What an impressive hold there by KFK as well too. Going between, like you said, their handler sets early, trusting within theirs and allowing the cuts to come, and they came at the perfect time for the score, for the hold, 5-4.
And that's definitely the Mexican hat dance, or Danish hat dance, I guess. Mexican hat Danes? It's tenuous, pan at best. Here's a replay of the score. Again, just working it towards the break side.
We have some fun here, again, with our production crew. Nick filming us on cam 2. We have Jack on cam 1 and Mike in the back.
Yeah, we've got a big Ulti-TV crew this week, which is brilliant, because A, it means we get more people to experience Windmill. B, it means everyone can get a little bit of a break and stay fresh. And C, isn't it just nice to see everyone again?
I was about to say, to me, it kind of feels like the Avengers. Everybody, both teams, both tournaments. As you saw last weekend, we had the Swiss Championships versus the French Championships.
Right, you were in Switzerland for Swiss Nationals. How did you find it?
Brilliant. It was amazing. Great work between the tournament sponsors. Again, shouts out to the Swiss Federation for having us again. It was amazing. How about yourself in France?
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, obviously, for the French Federation. Everyone in Uval, just outside Nantes, was lovely. Brilliant tournament. The Yaka won the women's division reasonably handily, showed what a good team they are. In the open final, I won't spoil it in case anyone wants to go back and watch it, but what an absolute corker of the game. Although I must say, the drive back from Nantes to Amsterdam on Monday was less than appreciated. Thanks, Mike, for doing all the driving. Here we go, Panthers trying to pick up the pace against the zone a little bit this time. Not even zone, excuse me, it's one-on-one. But just want to play with a little bit more zip and a bit more energy. Here's Filip Dobronovsky faking that around lefty, and that'll be a pick.
As one of your famous phrases, Benji, he was suspiciously open in the back right there, so a pick, you could assume a pick was coming.
Yeah, nicely done. And then just the cheeky nonchalance of that high release. Good way to access that break side. Voiti, aka Spider, making the catch for the goal to tie us up at 5. And it looks like a nice tight contest to open our weekend at Windmill. What a way.
It really does. And right there, they look like Spider-Man going up and grabbing it, having the disc caught in the end zone. And the Panthers aren't letting KFK get too much away with this. It's very tight. Like you said, Windmill has these great matchups, again, based on similar skill levels. And you can see it right here as both teams have breaks, both teams keeping it within each other. And both teams making a great game out of it.
So as well as our pitch, we're calling it the blue pitch this weekend. Behind us, Ulti-TV streaming 2 pitches this week, so we've got the yellow pitch as well. You can maybe do a little bit of picture-in-picture action or dual screen it. Have us and KFK versus Panthers on your main screen, and then your second screen on the other pitch. Christina Obermeyer and Luke Burgess are doing commentary on a women's division matchup between Spice from the UK and DTS from Lithuania. So multi-division, multi-pitch action here on Ulti-TV.
It's beautiful to see it. Again, shouts out to our patrons for that, allowing us to do that. But also you listening here too can help out. €4 a month, I believe.
Yeah, it's about a pint of beer a month. You can become a member of our Patreon. As this is going big from KFK, it's the first time they've really opened the arm. They're looking for Yamid slow and awkward catch. Defender maybe just about got in the way, but he's going to call the foul.
I'm wondering here too, I'm just trying to see, at least from my perspective, I think it's a no foul call, and I would agree with the players as well.
Yeah, I always think this is the best way. If you're not sure about something, call it, have the discussion, and if you need to, you can always retract the decision. He just tries to come all the way around and maybe gets impeded a little by the player going up, but he's in his rights to try and take the, he's not moving in an awkward, irrational way, I don't think.
Right.
So no call is made, and it will be a turnover.
And we see the Panthers starting out in a side stack as well too. Maybe their side stack can provide.
Yeah, a bit more success than the KFK side stack did. That looked pretty messy.
Yes, KFK not making it easy at all.
Putting that one out into space. Saw the defender there, just had the disc in his peripheral vision, wanted to try and prevent that poach block. Seeing there the importance of accuracy. Nice little break side cut. In some continuation. Faking the backhand, now looking back central. This might go back up the line. No, faked. Zinged in there. Unorthodox look, maybe. coming that late, but they made it work. Another low release. Breaks towards the far sideline. Ooh. Wants to turn and find the reset. Finds the reset. Kosmowski jacks towards the end zone. Yamitslu earns the disc back.
They got up, they got high, smacked it out of the air. I thought that was going to be an instance where if you smack it, somebody else might catch it, but that time proved pivotal as KFK got a turn.
Yeah, I don't want to call Moritz Yamitslu a little bit of a journeyman, but he's played on a number of Europe's top club teams, including KFK, including Kuzblafota, and he's a player that, you know, he has a bit of pedigree and that international high-level experience to his name, and yeah, showing there why, made a mistake, doesn't matter, just plays tight defense and gets the disc back eventually at the other end, and now he's sinning a huck into space, a beautiful huck into space, comfortably chased down, and then flipped into the end zone for the score for KFK and 6-5.
Wow, that was just a beautiful put by KFK there, coming from out of bounds, back into the bounds, and honestly, just simple, easy as you like it right there. And that's a break for KFK after an impressive turn, impressive D-line defense right there, and then convert that D-line to O-line. This cheeky huck.
And then hustle, back up, whatever you want. First player there. It might be the 2 grams actually, flipping one to the other. And it's 6-5 to KFK.
2 grams made 1 point on that. 1 break.
Let's watch it. Bang, there you go. So 6-5, KFK lead here in the first round of the infamous Swiss draw, which I must say I love as a format. It takes a lot of work to put together, but it does reward teams with consistently close games, at least theoretically all the way through. You know, it means that every point matters, even in seemingly one-sided contests, and it means that sometimes, you know, you see teams play really good teams close all tournament, but because they were up against a tough pool or whatever, they can't make it far. Whereas in Swiss draw, actually, if you play really good teams really close, it doesn't. If anything, it can improve your ranking, even if you don't necessarily get the wins, as opposed to comfortable wins over less good teams.
And I completely like it as well too, especially with the draw aspect. That makes it seem a lot better. So there is no winner here, but the points add up. You get great competitions. As we see here, a turn caused by KFK, and they have another opportunity for a break, see if they can go 7-5.
Yeah, there was clearly a miscommunication there between the cutter and the handler, because the handler kind of gestured and remonstrated as if, why don't you lay out for it? Nice gainer to the sideline. Backhand pops it into the middle. Players try and get same position, it's too far out in front, and foul called.
And it looks like right here, maybe the foul is kind of like we saw earlier with the impingement of space, who was entitled to that space first and who got the disc.
A lot of players getting ready for their next games on the warm-up field, which kind of encapsulates our crew area.
As you can see here, frisbees flying all around.
It feels like, look, I'm not saying that, you know, COVID's in the rearview mirror completely. I don't know if it ever will be, but this really does feel like frisbee's probably back.
It does. I completely agree with you. Everybody having a great time, being safe as well, cautious, hand sanitizers, washing their hands, but it does feel like it's back in full force.
So contested foul is going to put the disc in the hand of KFK. It is so hot. Everyone who's here at the field, to make sure you stay hydrated, put sunscreen on, all of that good stuff. Breaking towards the far side this time, KFK. Looking to attack the end zone at pace. But Panthers just stem the tide for a little bit now. Still cup beginning to rise. Squeaking it down the far sideline. Oh, it was floaty. They got away with it, KFK, to take a 2-point lead at 7-5, but they made it harder than it needed to be.
And that is a break for KFK to go up to 7-5. That disc floated, high up there, but it came back down for them just to catch it and to capture that point too. And we have a game on our hands. KFK looking to see if they can break at half 8-5.
Yeah, just a short 2-minute half time where the teams change ends, change offense. You know, just mirrors the first point, essentially.
Yes.
But not long, because do not have long in these time slots. It's great that you get started at 10 o'clock, but it does mean that you are quite tight for time all day.
You are booking it, you are grinding them out, and again, it's pretty tight competition as well too, where you're not playing it. You hardly won't see blowouts. They can happen, of course, but they're going to be back-to-back points, grinding and everything along those lines too.
Pull goes up from KFK, looking for another break to take half. Been a bit of a back and forth game, and at the moment, KFK have the upper hand. The Panthers going underneath. Wants to get the disc back, but it's a little bit clustered. Eventually, disc comes off. Nice yard gaining pass downfield to Guzmán. Guzmán looking. Takes a little bit off that flick. And this is expansive in the extreme. The big play for Doom. Doesn't come up with it. Maybe strip called.
That was insane right there, because I thought the Panthers receiver had it in their hands and just come back down, and KFK end up with it. I'm excited to see this replay. Oh, and it looks like KFK had it.
It's tight either way. It's certainly tight either way. KFK player did not look enamored with the call there. I must say it was, well, to say it was a spicy look, I think undersells it slightly.
I believe so. It was a high OI blade coming back in, and that thing was real bladey. You got some bread with that. I was kind of shocked at the look. Nonetheless, you see that thing is just coming from a wide angle and shooting down like a rocket. And that's a tight call.
Make your own mind up. I don't think I can.
I was about to say, at this point, too, our opinions really don't matter. We just broadcast what we see. We tell you along the lines of what we happen in our opinions. And it looks like it is contested and it's coming back.
Yeah, when it's that close, I get it. I do get it.
I agree. And even here we had one of the KFK players on the sidelines taking our VAR screen, kind of seeing what they can find. Maybe they saw something different, but I agree with the contested call. It's too close.
Yeah, a contest isn't always a quote-unquote negative result for a call.
Especially within these tightly timed games as well, so you can't be wasting time contesting or calling and arguing calls like that. Get the game flowing.
But they just check back in. Generally, they play it conservative until the blade comes out once more. This time it's reeled in by Guzmán, and Panthers make it 7-6.
I was about to say, Guzmán is just all over the place. Honestly, it seems like for this Panthers O-line, running around, getting up. And as you can see, they're reaching to the full extension and catching that. Again, another blady look in the end zone, but the Panthers are used to that. They trust their receivers. And wow, full extension there. So here. Okay, we had KFK 8-5, but it's actually 7-6 here. We need maybe the little mosquito buzzer we had last time at Vienna Spring Break again.
Hey, it seems to work, doesn't it? Just give the scoreboard a little bit of a zap and it seems to sort itself out.
Shouts out to Felix and the production crew last time for that. He is in the other game against Spice versus DTS. Maybe double screen that if you can.
Yeah.
Or we appreciate you staying with us here.
One is good, twice is nice.
And what did they say about thrice?
I don't know if I can say that without my lawyer. Here's KFK, a little bit of a breeze beginning to pick up here. KFK trying to adjust by keeping these throws low and flat. Sloan struggling a little bit, and the block comes in right in front of the camera. Was that a foot block of all things?
It was close. Either way, whatever block it was, I thought it was coming right back to us. We see it here. It looks like, oh, it's a hand block.
But it's a big old hand on it.
And now the Panthers have the opportunity to tie it 7.
Yeah, right in front of Cam too. Well played, Nick. Sucking him into it. Panthers looking to break to take us to our old favourite. Coming underneath. Thought about the bid that there wasn't one available. Squeezing it down the line at the moment. Hard running from Panthers. Trying to beat their marks to the open side. Nice high release there to access the break space. Squaring the hips up slightly to get around the mark. Utilising the full 360 degrees of the pivot. Now a low leading throw into the end zone. No, not quite. Just on the line. That one's going to work. 7-all is Galaxy Point, first game of the weekend.
Galaxy Point! What a way to start off Windmill here, Galaxy Point. Panthers getting able to have the break too. And what I have to emphasize as well is with the Panthers, especially on that point, there's the veteran experience to be chilly when you need to be. If you have the throw and you have the open person, throw the disc, but don't force anything. They look smooth there, and we have a Galaxy Point, our favorite.
We do very much enjoy a Galaxy Point. Those of you unfamiliar, Universe Point is when it's sudden death for the victory. Galaxy Point is like Universe Point, just a magnitude smaller. Sudden death to take half. It may not feel like it's that important, but it can be. You know, if you're receiving to start the second half and then you take the Galaxy Point, you know, you get 2 possessions back to back without the opponent getting a sniff, or, you know, again, it does provide that little mental edge, you know, halfway through the game, and you've got that nose just slightly in front.
And what I say there too, I call it a twofer, like you said too. Get the point and then also get the possession back to back. Use that momentum right into the next half, and sometimes I can just take you to the game.
Yeah, the old bog off. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, always love a BOGO. Looks like KFK taking a little bit more time to talk about their strategy. Panthers ready to go.
Yeah, back and forth game. Teams have had breaks, but they've been clawed back, and we're on serve now for Galaxy Point. KFK look deep. There's going to be pressure underneath this. Getting up high and maybe sucking him into getting too far underneath it. Thought he was maybe going to chase it down for the layout afterwards, but it was too far. KFK gets turn it over.
And that was an intimidation deep one. A little high of a jump from the Panthers at that point, but just enough to throw them off, and now they have the opportunity to go the full field length, for a break.
Teams do have timeouts that they can use any time before the end of game to goes. But you want to try and get as much frisbee in as possible, and that's going to be a foul, uncontested as well.
Great use of hand signs and a quick resolution.
Yeah, nice flat hands elsewhere on the pitch as well. Game being played with impeccable spirit. Squeezing that one up line, lead throw, sits it into space. There was no immediate deep put that they could have made use of the power position with, but they're playing it quickly anyway. Panthers outside the end zone. Towards the far sideline. Panthers break on Galaxy Point. They'll take half on KFK. 8-7. Is there a little bit of an upset early on in the open division here?
It definitely looks like it. The Panthers are moving the disc, facilitating it well. KFK also, it's a tight game, but that's 2 straight points for Panthers to go into half. And maybe we should even have maybe like a statistic of whoever wins Galaxy Point, maybe if it does go to Universe Point, to see who has that too.
I'm going to give you a slight correction. 3 on the bounce.
3 on the bounce, excuse me.
Yeah, there you go. You just got to have a look at a replay of that final possession here. There was the foul that was uncontested. And then just moving this so quickly to the break side. Again, keeping that average time of possession low, making sure the defenders are out of position. And then this one just holds it for a little bit longer because there's nothing there immediately. Eventually they get the break side cut. Fourth broken with aplomb. To take us into half with Panthers up 8-7. We're going to take a short water break, but don't go anywhere because the second half of this open division match at Windmill will return on the other side.
inside Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
So, London invite next week. OTTV is going to be there. You can be there too. Buy tickets to the link in the description, or you can watch it on OTTV. And we'd also like to give a shout out to Ultical, the best way to find what's going on in the tournament calendar. There's a really helpful map function as well, so you can plan, okay, I'm going to be here at these dates. What can I find available? Helps to really picture things. So huge shout out to our friends over at Ultical as well. Cal, of course, being short for calendar. It is 8-7 to Panthers over KFK here. First Swiss draw round one, first game of the weekend at Windmill. Panthers up a break, and they will receive, coming out of half, having broken on Galaxy Point.
Maybe seeing if they can get their 4th straight point as well, too, coming out of the half.
Yeah, KFK finding maybe a little bit difficult to stop the some of the movement and some of the more unorthodox throwing options coming out of Panthers, as this one is whipped deep. Going to be one-on-one in the end zone.
And right out of the hands. KFK with an opportunity to break here to settle the score 8-8.
Yeah, I think they'll want that one back as well, because it looked like he had it.
It did, right out of the grass.
But just doinked the catch, and that's going to happen. KFK won't care one jot. Can they find a way to capitalise? Wind picking up ever so slightly. So far, everything underneath for KFK. Haven't found their deep game with any sort of consistency in the first half.
It does. It looks like, especially with their D-line, they're just moving more swiftly with unders and through their handlers. And if it works, it works.
High stall, desperately just tried to get the throw off. And in the end, hit the turf, stalled out uncontested. So we'll go back to the spot. KFK will check the disc back. Disc will be checked back in, and Panthers regain the disc.
The Panthers with an opportunity again to go for their 4th straight point, a hold there. But honestly, to kind of signify that offense was great, or the defense, especially for the O-line for the Panthers, was great as well.
To the lefty, Filip Dobronovsky squeaks it down the far sideline. Now he's got it back in his grasp. Towards the sideline, Lukasz Dobronovsky threads the needle impeccably for 9-7.
Dobronovsky right there too. After missing the first deep catch, slipping out of their hands, it looks like he redeems himself and gets the point there. 9-7 Panthers, wow.
And they are very loud shouts of Wrocław echoing across the field. Right now, Panthers, one of 2 Panthers teams in the Open Division. Not as in 2 teams from the same club, but we have Panthers Wrocław and also Panthers Bern, who are, for the first time ever, your Swiss Open Division champions.
And that was a beautiful tournament to watch. And again, Panthers played phenomenal, beating Free Speed, which consistently goes to the Swiss National Championship game, and also Fab, which another one that consistently goes and wins the tournament too. Panthers of Bern winning their first championship, also going to their first championship, and now in here in Windmill, living life, having fun, and with another piece of silverware.
But we've got their namesakes, Panthers Wrocław, on the stream at the moment, and you can watch all the footage back from Swiss and French nationals last weekend on the LTV YouTube channel for free at your leisure. That ball is just going to slide out of bounds. couldn't quite land it inside the lines, so brick will be taken. Thanks for opening that bottle, Corey.
Of course.
You are evidently stronger than I.
I don't know, it was slippery there. It's hot.
It's so hot. High release into the centre, not a problem. Can't bring it in with that gloved right hand. Taking the reset. KFK under a little bit of pressure on the scoreline. First time they've been down by 2 all game.
Like I said, maybe they're feeling it. Maybe it's affecting some of their game too. Not on this O-line point.
Swinging it around the back at the moment, maybe struggling to generate movement from the cutters. Nice little inside thread there though. Now with the centre of the pitch, putting a lead pass out to space. Oh, I'm not sure whether that was the intended target, but I don't think Spek really minds. There is a discussion about whether or not his first point of contact was in the end zone.
KFK right on the doorstep, trying to look through their options, see what they can have. Oh, looked like it just slipped out of his hands, but it's a catch anyway.
If it works, it works. Otherwise, Philosopher once said their favourite type of throw is one that's catched. Caught. High release into the end zone. This time Sverker gets his body in position early enough so the defender can't come round and he makes the catch for 9-8.
And that's a great way for the KFK to get back on track, rally up their points. Again, having 4 straight points rattled off by the Panthers. Stop the bleeding a little bit, some would say, and now see if they can get a break to tie it up 9-9.
Over on the pitch behind us on the yellow pitch in the women's division, Spice are up 8-6 on DTS going into the second half there. So 2 close games we've picked for you. For those who are unaware how Swiss draw works, the first round is based entirely on the pre-Windmill prediction contest. So the top team, we'll take the mixed division because there's 40 teams, so the maths is easier. So the top team 1 plays team 21, team 10 plays team 30, team 20 plays team so on. Basically, so everyone has the same difference between teams, so you can see the teams going forward with the coefficient.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund our
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Join Ulti TV in growing Ultimate by liking, sharing, subscribing to our YouTube channel, the same YouTube channel that you're watching it on now. All of you in the comments section, don't worry, I know you subscribe because you have to be subscribed in order to comment live on the videos. But otherwise, make sure you do all that. There's a little bell you can ring to get notifications whenever we go live, which is going to be an awful lot in the next few weeks as well, with Windmill this weekend, London Invite, and then World Masters coming up in the extremely near future as well. And you can also become a member of our Patreon page for as little as a price of beer a month, although of course you are more than welcome to donate more than that. If everyone can chip in a little bit, think how much more Ultimate we'd be able to bring you. And fingers crossed, bring you for free as well.
Exactly. Beautifully put, Punchy.
All games, yeah, this weekend. Out there for live and for free on our YouTube channel. Aren't we good to you? So here's the ball from KFK, trying to eat into this Panthers lead, but that ball's going to land out of bounds.
Looks like they'll start from the break mark as well, too.
Just brought in, low release. Operating mostly through the centre of the field here, the Panthers. Low around break, gets it off nicely. Swinging back and forth, utilising the width of the pitch now. This might be a little bit dish off, no, fakes it, goes at the second attempt. Lovely early lead throw to space. Oh, there's a player who's leaked out the back, completely unnoticed. And Kosmowski gratefully accepts the offer of the goal for 10-8.
I was about to say, Kosmowski just open all over the place again, catching another score, and the Panthers go up 10-8 here, making it look swift. The flow was so cool. Honestly, I'm at a loss of words for there. So you see here, just facilitation going back and forth.
Yeah, I'm trying to move slightly back into the shade here. It is. I am not built for hot climbs, I'll tell you that much. But considering what the weather was like last time when we were in 2019, went to bed at like 3 o'clock on the Friday night, as you do. Weather was fine. Got woken up at 6:30 by my tent mates. Benji, everything's flooded. You got to go to Iggy. No, yes, we did. Amazingly though, obviously they called off the first few rounds of games, but they managed to get it back on, which is testament to the excellent drainage facilities at the field complex. Smog rising accidentally hits us with a frisbee. KFK are in play.
Makes so much sense it rhymes.
Class when that happens. Swing it around the back at the moment.
Oh!
Wow, did just a little bit of a flick in there?
I think so, guys. Maybe just a finger in there to tip the disc away.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need. It doesn't have to be a really emphatic smackdown. Just get in there and alter the flight of the disc.
As we see here, yeah, just a hand in the way, and now the Panthers with prime real estate.
Oh, and the offhand lefty catches the defense unaware and napping. And at the moment, they want to wake up from this nightmare that Panthers have put them in. They're 3 points down, 11-8. Hashtag upset alert early on here at Windmill.
And that's hashtag another break too. Panthers 11-8, working along the lines. Oh my goodness, like you said, that was just great high release lefty.
Look, people who are familiar with Windmill and watching OTTV streams at Windmill will know how much we love to hail the almighty algorithm for putting together such great matchups all the time. We cannot even credit the algorithm for this, because this is all down to the prediction contests. And at the moment, Panthers making a mockery of the fact that they were seeded 13 places lower than their opponents.
And I will say too, you know, this will not be the first upset we will see or the tournament will see at all. It's just teams know how high level Windmill is, how excited teams are to play, so they bring their best, and we are seeing the best being brought right now by the Panthers.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Windmill, is that yes, it's a massive party, it's a brilliant party, but also the level of ultimate is brilliant. Europe and the world's best really do come here to go at it.
And they have a great time doing so too. And so do we.
Yeah, nice ball there. Done just about on the end zone line for KFK. Duel getting himself big on the force as he's chasing it down. Trying to force things towards the sideline so they can get those flyers. The greatest attempt was completed. I don't know if he landed before he got the release off. We'll look at it on the replay. Again, whatever happens, I love the effort and endeavour. And after checking the replays that we have available, KFK players very honestly calling his teammate out.
Still, what a remarkable effort there. Just to attempt the greatest is also
good awareness, even if they couldn't quite get the execution off.
I was supposed to say, Benji, I don't know what it is, but when we hang out, it always some type of greatest is being done.
Right, isn't it great? Maybe we should put more games together.
I think so.
Unfortunately for Panthers, drop on the first pass, so KFK will get it back. Yamitsu. KFK really trying to furrow this underneath. Wonder if they'll try and find a way to open this offense up, because at the moment it's quite congested. Very vocal sideline presence in front of us here for Panthers. Trying to give any extra information they can impart to their teammates to improve the defensive effort. KFK know that they can't really let their opponent afford to go 4 points up this late on, so this hold is crucial. Hammer over the top, brilliantly done. Just drifting off the back of the stack there, and the hammer opens up that space brilliantly. That'll be 9-11.
And that is hammer time from KFK for a much needed point, like you said, too, to get the hold there as we go into the 61st minute. Not much time left.
No, you're right. Probably just under 10 minutes on the clock.
KFK patiently waiting again. What a smooth hammy. Online, easy to catch, wide open in the back. Just as you like it.
You like those hammers, don't you?
I love them. Hammers and Scoobies, can't beat them.
What about a thumber?
Thumber, love that too. You don't see those much, but
no, much to my disappointment, you do not.
You do not. Again, as we watch Smog getting ready for our next game coming up.
Yeah, we've got Smog Rising versus LOL from Budapest in Hungary coming up on this pitch next. On the yellow pitch behind us, we've got Colorado from Karlsruhe in Germany taking on the Netherlands' own Too Many Cooks. Panthers offense back in play again. Breeze just drifting up a little bit now, which is most welcome in these scorching temperatures. Playing it around the back to start. Finding a nice underneath gainer there. Fake towards the side, gets the mark off balance. Oh, this is going to float a little bit. Reeled in, yes, just about. You can see that even though there's not a huge amount of breeze, when you're used to pretty much no wind at all, it does cause a couple of problems.
It does.
Floating towards the far side. This has got to go deep. It's pinged towards the back of the end zone. In stride for the goal.
But there is a travel call back on the throw.
Good spot. Receiver had a couple of steps deep. The only question was he too deep already? In the end, time to cut well, but travel on the throw, maybe not stopping that motion quickly enough. Motion? I just confused motion and momentum there. Either way.
I like it. I mean, you might have to trademark that one. Motion.
Do it again?
Why not?
This one has got too much speed on it though, and it's not going to be able to catch up, and that'll be the turn.
And that's what KFK are looking for. An expert veteran call right there on the travel. Pays dividends as they get the turn.
I must admit, having not been looking at the thrower's feet on the initial throw, I don't know whether it was a travel or not. But KFK saw it, and on the second time of asking, Panthers couldn't repeat the trick. KFK likes sending players deep early, but the way they've played this game, I'm not sure how much the Panthers are respecting those cuts.
I agree. They know they're looking for those undercuts as well, too. The deep just is a fake to open up some space, but the Panthers playing consistent to what they've been doing all game. And that is a tough out call, but it is correct, I believe.
Yeah, just looking at the wrong sideline, and Panthers take the timeout. Yeah, that's brutal. But gets the slap from his teammate. Knows that obviously it's not intended. Sometimes you just lose that sense a little, that positional sense a little bit, and looked at the line, saw that he was comfortably in. Only problem, he wasn't looking at the right line.
For the break side, Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
London Invite is happening next weekend. You can find tickets to be there in person in the description of the YouTube videos, or by becoming a patron you can help us make sure that everyone can watch that live. So Panthers here at Windmill, coming in off the timeout. Get the disc moving. Cheeky little flip towards that far sideline. Again, Panthers loving these high release, and with relatively little wind, so it's an option that they've gone to on a number of occasions. Thinking about the inside backhand there instead. Activates the reset, wants to put it up line. KFK defender was there, but accused of maybe a little bit of an arm bar as he came through.
Now the replay can show us what's going on here.
It is very physical, that matchup, regardless of how this turns out.
Yes.
They are shoulder to shoulder. Maybe they're just getting some practice in for the mingle later on this evening. One of many extracurricular activities that goes on here at Windmill.
I heard you can even grow your own mushrooms here as well.
You can, yeah. As to what kind of mushrooms they are, I haven't inquired. There's a beer race later this evening as well.
Oh wow! Are you going to enter the tournament?
I think it's usually in teams. So Corey,
you'd be down for that.
Oh, excellent.
A power duo for the ages.
Oh no, I won't do it.
Oh, you won't do it.
No, I did it last time and I was terrible.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, no comment. Back in play, pick, violation, something's not right.
Suspiciously open.
So that's the phrase, yeah.
Here we're coming in the 68th minute. KFK can't waste any more time. As Benji's mentioned earlier, once it hits the 70th minute and the hooter goes off, that's game.
Yeah, finish the point and you're done. So actually, these extended stoppages, not that Panthers are playing them up and deliberately extending them, but does work in their favour as the team that's got the lead at the moment. High release break down the sideline. Filip Dopanovsky climbs the ladder, but he's not in just yet. On the end zone line. Wants that blade around. Got it on target for 12-9.
And that was sensational. Way to get up there on the goal line, and then a full field around on the line, honestly, to get there to the other cone for the score. Panthers up 12-9.
Yeah, what this should effectively do, you feel, is seal the victory for Panthers. But in Swiss draw, every point matters for that ranking coefficient, especially because come tomorrow afternoon, you need to be in the top 8 to get into bracket play. Otherwise, you continue in Swiss draw. And it has been the case in previous year, where teams have missed out on the top 8 by singular points.
Honestly, I mean, I kind of like to see this as well, too, with the Swiss draw. Reminds me a little bit of the Premier League here, you know? Have some goal differentials, points mattering. Every point matters.
It's so American. The Premier League. I think we're about to hear Herbie's trumpet call. So here we go. Sounds echoing across the brilliant field complex here in Amsterdam. A glorious afternoon.
And this will finish up the game. KFK looking to see if they can get another point to make it 10-12.
And for Panthers, if they could finish this 13-9 with a little bit of extra gloss on the scoreline, they would not mind that one iota. Oh, nearly. A little slight wrong line on that throw. KFK caught it. Now down the far sideline. It's always interesting in these games where all of a sudden, oh wow! Bot comes flashing through. In these games where all of a sudden, you know that the result's not in question. Can you still find that That little bit of extra fire to finish out strong.
Especially now when it's hot, like you said, you have the same energy for the next couple of games coming up, but you want to finish out strong, and that's the identity of KFK, to never give up.
Yeah, knowing that you are game on, game off all day. It makes, you know, you never have to work out when your next game is because it's always one off, one on. But here we go, put deep by Panthers. And too far out the back. I mean, that layout, gratuitous or super necessary, make your mind up.
I'm never not going to question a layout of that one, but I appreciate the effort.
Throw low and turned on the first pass by KFK. It really feels like they've lost steam now. Can they find a way to force it in? Break around, 13-9 game for Panthers, pulling the upsets, but there might be a violation.
Sit here, waiting for the game, waiting for the point of the discussion. Looks like it's a travel call. One picking up just a little bit here in the back.
Can't find that same break. Instead, they're just going to jam it in the jam hole, popping it to the front of the end zone. 13-9, Panthers knock off KFK here. We're going to take a quick break because the games just keep on coming at Windmill. Mixed division action between Smog Rising and Null up next on this pitch for 4 ESO straight. I'm Benjamin Rees, and your final score, game 1 of Windmill, KFK 9, Panthers Wrocław 13.
TV.